Thank you, Rafa. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you for giving Amdocs this opportunity to talk about streamlining mobile private network deployments for reliable connectivity to our Latin America customers. Why are private networks important? For the different use cases that the enterprises are looking for, such as coverage, security, reliability, low cost, and versatility, private networks are becoming a gateway for the enterprises to address their evolving needs, new use cases, and traditional connectivity limitations. Private networks can address requirements across a large number of industries, but must be tailored for use cases in specific verticals, which has their own specific requirements. So because of these vast number of industries that can benefit from a private network, if you look at the market opportunity on the right-hand side, the market opportunity is significant, growing to over $7 billion in the year 2027. And if you look at the bottom part, the deployments by technology type, you can actually see that 5G is becoming the technology of choice over time, which actually benefits our service providers who have made significant investments in 5G. But right now, you can still see that 4G LTE is still dominant. Where we are already seeing a lot of use cases across many verticals being implemented, some of which are around, for example, you see the fire and rescue, where you have drone video transmission to identify any kind of people that are stuck for rescue operations. We see airports that are actually looking to have a 4G or a 5G private network outside to actually have cargo asset tracking kind of like use cases, along with complementary Wi-Fi indoors. We see it in manufacturing for automatic guided vehicles, for floor configuration, worker safety, for assembly line fault identification in assembly line, in farms, for the usage of drones and video for soil improvement and security, and also in mining, for example, underground coverage, guided visualization, and of course, worker safety. Talking about more market trends, this is an article that was published by Coleman Parks Mobile Private Network Research Group with Amdocs. And what they found was that 40% of the service providers are focusing on large and enterprise level companies for their mobile private network solutions. Half of the same CSPs, service providers, claim that developing mobile private network use cases are a top 3 short-term priority. And if you look at the graph on the top left corner, this actually shows the graph. And if you look at specifically towards Latin America, there are already 88% of the operators who already offer a mobile private network or plan to build a mobile private network within a year or 2. If you look at the bottom right-hand side graph, it also shows in Latin America what are the different focus areas when it comes to the industries that are driving the mobile private network. Ranked at number 1 is healthcare, followed by retail, then comes education and mining. There is also agriculture use cases that is gaining traction in large parts of Latin America that we see. These metrics reiterate why mobile private networks are becoming a necessity and a new revenue stream for the operators. Where do the CSPs fit within the mobile private network space? They are right in the center of driving not only connectivity, but many other needs that the enterprises may need as they grow. The analyst firm Omdia cited that 99% of the enterprise build more capabilities on top of their private network. This is indeed true as private networks become a vehicle for CSPs to grow their revenues by offering their customers who are enterprises new services once they start with their initial connectivity. Possibilities grow beyond connectivity when enterprises would need not just spectrum, but they may end up needing security. They may end up needing AI, ML, edge, cloud solutions, FTTX, SD-WAN, and maybe global roaming and many more opportunities that would enable the CSPs to sell their catalog of solutions to the enterprises, thus growing their revenue. This enables the operator to grow their customer base, create stickiness, and of course, upsell more. Deploying a mobile private network is an intricate process that requires a broad range of skill sets, components, and technologies. During the discovery and design process, the requirements must be established and well understood, and a solution design with an optimal set of vendors and partners needs to be created to make sure that we completely understand the requirements coming out of the enterprises. During the implementation and deployment phase, we need to make sure that the solution is integrated as a complete end-to-end solution, not just separate components. We need to actually integrate the devices, the radio, the core, transport, cloud, edge. Everything comes together, and we need to integrate this with the broader existing systems and the infrastructure to ensure seamless operations. During the operations and going forward, new approaches to ensuring the performance and SLAs of these solutions are being met are required, while enabling additional products and services to be easily integrated. In short, to accomplish this successfully, end-to-end expertise and services are actually required. So where do we see the operators having challenges with private networks? So the CSPs are actually experiencing few challenges when we talk to them to address the private network markets. It's across many different verticals, spanning commercial, offerings, deployment, and operations. For example, on the commercial side of the house, there have been deals that have been lost due to a lengthy pre-sales process. They lack many commercial models in place today. They start with a very high capex model. There is nothing that is actually starting low from a capex perspective. And of course, they are actually losing direct customer relationship to the competition. On the offering side, we see that the CSPs sometimes struggle to sell beyond the initial network connectivity. They don't have enough the ISV ecosystem, like the partner ecosystem for different types of applications for different verticals. We see them not able to monetize existing public network assets. On the deployment side, the deployment timelines take too long, sometimes 6 months or maybe more. Integrating to the enterprise, the IT and operational technology and processes becomes kind of a challenge. And on the operation side, there is no single source of truth. There is always the swivel chair, finger pointing between multiple partners in the ecosystem. Operation skills for multiple vendors and solutions are still yet to be standardized. And of course, day two operations and lifecycle management of the private enterprise network starts becoming a challenge. So for the operators, a change in business as usual is actually needed from a system integration, deployment, and operations. The way that they actually do today from a macro perspective, macro site perspective, that needs to actually change with respect to like having pre-integrated solutions that are ready to be rolled out, using a lab as a setup before they go into the field, which actually increases their production deployment, which actually significantly reduces their network integration time. And also from an operations perspective, they have the agility, scalability, and ease of management for managing these large, many complex enterprise networks. Amdocs private network offerings provides the operator with a comprehensive solution that is soup to nuts, with an end-to-end accountability in a way to take the headache of dealing with multiple partners or vendors in the ecosystem. Amdocs solution includes business consultancy, wherein Amdocs works with the operator to understand the needs of the use case coming out of the enterprises, the vertical where the use case needs to be deployed, and then we come up with a plan, a high-level architecture to show the evolution and realization of this use case, which involves choosing the right technology, partner, type of option of deployment, any kind of like ROI that needs to actually be done. Amdocs also offers the complete planning, design, fulfillment, and operations of the private network, which includes the RF or the high-level, low-level architecture design, bringing in all of the partner ecosystem from devices, radio, core, transport, security, etc., doing the complete end-to-end system integration of all of these components, use the operators for spectrum, provide SIM device provisioning, security penetration testing, and the complete operations of the private network, including the L1, L2, L3 operations. This complete suite of services is augmented by the stickiness differentiator brought about by the management portal that is unique to Amdocs, that provides a single transparent view of the enterprise's KPIs for any operations or decision making. This actually makes it also easy for the operator to manage multiple complex enterprise networks from a single pane of glass. Amdocs can address the intricacies of mobile private network with a comprehensive set of offering, including the building blocks of the network combined with services streamlined for the deployment and operations of the network with end-to-end accountability. At the end of the day, we become the services arm for the operator to scale, build, and manage private enterprise networks. The stickiness and differentiator that Amdocs brings to the table is with the private network management portal. This portal enables the operator with automation that in turn drives faster deployments with AI-enabled operations that enhances customer experience and in turn improves operational efficiency. At the end of the day, the operator wants to know, or even the enterprise wants to know the performance of their specific use case or how the KPIs are performing. They don't want to look at 10 different dashboards or tabs to get into a problem resolution. They want to have a simple, secure, single pane of glass view of how their KPIs are performing. Amdocs enables this with the management portal by infusing automation that drives features like a centralized dashboard that provides a single view of the different solution components and their KPIs. The portal has role-based access to differentiate enterprises, operators, etc., based on different roles. The operators can actually choose to provide an enterprise-specific view if they want to. It also includes, the portal for provision network elements, devices, and application. Network analytics that show the trend of KPIs that are used for NOC teams, along with advanced AI/ML rules and algorithms for predictive analytics and anomaly detections, are embedded as a part of the portal. Device and connectivity management to ensure devices provisioned are functioning properly with their KPIs are also part of this portal. The SIM management for any devices or subscriber management are also included. This is where we actually provision the SIMs and apply policies for the different subscribers. The uniqueness and differentiation that Amdocs Private Network Management Portal provides to the enterprise or the operator is eliminating the swivel chair by simplifying operations for a complex multi-vendor, multi-system network. So Amdocs so far have actually deployed many private networks from actual deployments to even like proof of concepts. For example, this time in Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, Amdocs partnered with Intel to actually demo how a manufacturing facility can actually leverage AI ML based detection from video cameras to actually identify faults in a very automated fashion. So the private enterprise network, a 5G private enterprise network, was actually built with the Intel Smart Edge sitting at the core, enabling the cameras in real time to actually detect faulty equipments in an assembly line, which actually improves the operational efficiency. So this was one of our vertical showcase in the manufacturing domain. But beyond that, what we have also done is focus on campus areas, tourism, as well as utilities. On the campus side, Amdocs actually, rapidly built and deployed a secure private network, which was considered as an alternative to Wi-Fi for the staff and students to have a network to rely upon when the Wi-Fi was actually down. This was where Amdocs actually came in and designed and deployed a private network, which actually had a combination of indoor and outdoor radios, a high available on-premise core, firewall security, and completely did the system integration and operations of this particular campus. On the tourism vertical side, what we actually did was, give the tourists an immersive experience of any of the places that they actually end up visiting. So this is where we actually used AR glasses. We actually had a 5G network up and running, and the 5G network actually had a complete UPF, or the user plane function, on plane. The control plane was actually on the cloud. And this is where we actually gave an immersive experience for the tourists to actually take in and, get a completely different view of what they're actually seeing and feeling, and which actually required a low latency kind of private network to be deployed for having this kind of an immersive experience. On the utility side, we had customer actually moving from an obsolete technology to an LTE 5G technology for smart metering upgrade that actually enabled greater performance and control of their network. On top of this smart metering, what the company also wants to do is enable video surveillance and video monitoring of their utility assets, which is actually also run on the private enterprise network. And this is where we actually leveraged our the CBRS spectrum for outdoor deployment, and it actually had an on-prem core with the applications that were actually loaded for the video monitoring as well as for the smart metering. So this was all done by by leveraging our Amdocs services, which span from the planning, design, deployment to the fulfillment and operations for all of these enterprise networks. How do we actually do all of these? Is by leveraging our labs. If you remember the slide that I was actually talking about, where there needs to be a mindset, a shift in the way the operators need to actually be able to test solution and then deploy it in the field at a faster scale. So Amdocs actually leverages our labs. So this is where we actually build our capabilities. We actually gain experience with the ecosystem and enable our services to support faster deployment and operations. And this is where we actually leverage our Amdocs 5G Experience Lab in Dallas, where we have this test bed to bring in a large partner ecosystem that is always growing. So we actually have partner ecosystems from the devices, from radios, from transport, from core, security, cloud, as well as MEC. So we actually have a huge partner ecosystem that is growing, where we actually evaluate varying design and architecture. We onboard applications to test specific use cases and ultimately define the overall solution blueprints to address specific enterprise challenges. And this is where we can actually leverage this labs also for the operators to actually come in and test their enterprise needs and actually build these blueprints and have a faster deployment on the field for the enterprises to actually realize their use cases in a much faster fashion.
Here's how Amdocs makes MPNs amazing. Mobile private networks play a crucial role in driving digital transformation for enterprises by providing connectivity to accelerate their vertical use cases, all while maintaining the security and reliability of their data and services. Amdocs offers CSPs an end-to-end MPN solution that covers everything from consulting to operations, including the integration and onboarding of end-user applications. We choose best-of-breed network equipment and vendor solutions to maximize ROI, collaborating with industry-leading providers experienced in RAN, core, transport, cloud, edge, spectrum, and security. Using the Amdocs management portal, CSPs can manage multiple complex deployments from a single pane of glass. The portal enables real-time observability of IT and OT across different enterprises from different geographies and industries. It also provides visibility on each enterprise's deployment status, connects to a marketplace where CSPs can onboard applications onto the enterprise, provides SIM management capabilities, allows configuration of policy and charging rules, and monitors ongoing traffic for security alerts and breach attacks. Building a mobile private network for specific verticals may seem overwhelming and challenging. With Amdocs' end-to-end MPN solution, businesses can rest easy knowing that they're secure, reliable, and always connected.
The previous video that you actually saw was a 90-second summary of this presentation, what Amdocs is actually doing currently in the mobile private network space and how Amdocs is actually enabling the operators using the management portal to build, scale, and manage enterprise networks. And this slide is the last slide talking about why Amdocs. Amdocs is always focused on the business outcomes. We actually integrate to any environment. We enable networks to scale and operate faster, and we have long-term partnerships in achieving success. So at the end of the day, we help open up, not tie the operator in. We help manage the complexity and risk of an ecosystem. We give you the tools to orchestrate, automate, and monetize your network. We actually manage your network end to end, and we bring in partners who can bring not just the connectivity, but the IT, OT, everything together. And this is what Amdocs offers. And for the operators, we are actually the services arm to help them scale, deploy, and manage enterprise networks.